Hey y'all, welcome to the GI Justin channel. I've got another breaking story for you from a press conference that just happened with basically the chiefs of our military and our press secretary, and that is that this Chinese story doesn't appear to be over. It looks like this spy balloon that we thought was a done deal and a done story is actually far from it, because what we thought it was capable of and what we thought it was doing is in no way the case. So again, that brings us to a really interesting crossroads when it comes to our thoughts on China and how we are responding on the world stage to all these things that are happening, and how they're becoming much more of a peer than I think we're prepared for. I mean, we talked yesterday in the video about how the Chinese yuan is now the most traded currency in the world. For the first time in America's history, our dollar is not the most important asset. And today, we come out to a briefing that basically says everything we thought is absolutely wrong, and it's much, much worse. So just a quick primer in case you happen to be out of the country or missed it and have not watched my videos. And if you haven't, I will link them with a playlist so you can go back and check out the story as it unfolded. But on January 28th, this balloon entered U.S. airspace, and we began to track it as it worked its way across the country, flying over some pretty significant strategic U.S. military and strategic infrastructure sites. Then on February 4th, after it had gone on its merry way and viewed all the things that it wanted to view, we shot it down over the Atlantic Ocean. So, done deal, story's over, right? We go out, start to recover it, and now that we've recovered it, we have learned there's a much deeper, darker layer to this than previously thought. And basically that is that this balloon, when it flew over these sensitive sites, was collecting several kinds of intelligence, not just signal intelligence. It was taking video, listening to conversations, and then beaming all of that information back in real time to China. It's not as simple as just the off-track weather balloon that China was saying it was, and that kind of our government was saying, yeah, we think it's listening, doing signal intelligence, but that's it. And in reality, what it was doing was making several passes over the Maelstrom Air Force Base, which happens to hold the bulk of our nuclear arsenal and the bulk of our strategic deterrent to China, Russia, and other countries that may want to hurt us. So basically, this thing was making figure 8-shaped patterns and transmitting this information back in real time, utilizing information on the signal intelligence, video, and photographic range. So basically, they were taking pictures of our aircraft, of our nuclear silos, stealing our communications information and beaming it back as it was happening to China. And it added some pretty significant strategic value. I mean, that is real-time, real-life information in the moment. And, they were telling us at the time it wasn't capable of any of that, that maybe it could take pictures, but they didn't see any transmissions, and they waited too long to shoot it down. It had the opportunity to fly over. We talked about it in the video. I mean, some very sensitive U.S. sites, including our nuclear arsenal, our military bases, the Boeing factory where our F-35 jets are made, which they've already stolen the plans to that we've done nothing about. And we still haven't really responded to this incident yet either. We lodged a formal complaint, and now we're on to the next thing. Now we're on to all these political things that you see taking place today. So they're coming out saying there's little added strategic value to them. I'm saying you allowed them to fly a balloon of all things, directly overhead of these nuclear sites, knowing that it was taking video and camera and photographs. And I think you're starting to see a lot of congressmen, congresswomen, and senators getting frustrated because they said today after the meeting, like, hey, why are we only getting updated the same time the press is? Like, why are we not getting this information as it's happening? And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they want this story to disappear. They want it to go away. They want it to be over. But it's not going away because it's only getting worse. And basically, they thought they were, the big final takeaway on this is they thought that they were jamming the signals and jamming the ability of the Chinese balloon to transmit, when in reality, not so much. It appears that the balloon was able to absolutely transmit all of this sensitive information back to China, where they can continue to game plan and war plan and work on how the heck are they going to deal with us militarily. And now they've got photographic, video, and surveillance, signal intelligence proof of exactly how they want to do it and what they want to do. And it's unfortunate because I think it shows that we are, A, not capable of protecting our own airspace on our homeland. B, we don't have perhaps the technological understanding that we thought we had, where, hey, all they've done for the last month is come out and say, yep, we think it took some pictures, maybe it was listening, and that's it. And now that we've recovered the balloon from the depths of the ocean, which explained to me why we shot it down over the ocean, it turns out that's not the case, that this thing is vastly more sophisticated, and we allowed it to garner all the intelligence one could possibly want. Because yeah, they have satellites and they can see from space, which, yep, that's not great. But at the same time, real-time video, you can see military movements in real-time video. You can see what's going on at these air bases. You can see what helicopters are flying around, what airplanes are moving on the taxiways, count people, look at all these different things that with the era of satellite that they currently have, they may not be able to do otherwise. So begs the question, what is our real response? What are we going to do from here? And I hope there's a national security spokesman who came out and basically said, we're learning a lot of information and tons of great intelligence news from this balloon. And I think we'll be able to learn all kinds of stuff from it, which is great. I mean, that's great news that we're learning stuff from it. But at the same time, what was the cost? I mean, a balloon of that capacity is a relatively, for China, inexpensive way to do what it's doing. And what about the cost of what they gathered from us? I mean, it's not a very win situation for us. Pretty bad. So I'm going to keep you guys informed on this as it moves forward. I'm looking at a whole bunch of different sources and talking to some people about what this is going to mean for us strategically and even tactically if something were to go wrong in the short term. So thank you guys so much for watching the channel today. I really appreciate the comments and the likes. It's super cool chatting with you guys constantly. So thank you guys so much for watching the video and have an awesome day.